Okay, let's see how it's gonna go today. Infinite funds. Infinite power, if only. Start with a run. And then we'll do some practice. Gotta warm up for a second. Warm up with a run, you know how it goes. Hello, Pursuits. Over you. I am doing fine enough. I'm not doing bad by any means. It's not like it's particularly great, but it's fine. It is a solid Monday. Can't complain. Gonna be better after I beat the cat up. Off. Don't cat react to me over that. That's far from the most questionable thing that I've ever said, or even you've ever said. You're not fooling anybody with your whoa there. I love this attack. The structure of this attack is honestly pretty good. I like it. I will be like, yeah, that's a really cool attack. After I'm past this game. Thank you, Zoots, for the 45 stream streak. Certified watcher, thank goodness I have this telling me that you watch my streams, because otherwise I'd never know. If only there was another way for me to figure out. Just the brightest thing on planet Earth. Hello? Have you ever seen Oku? Hello? Bro looks outside his windows in the morning. It's like, oh, it's too bright out. It's like cloudy outside. Oh, it's too bright for me. Oh, I can't handle this. A little bit of sunlight. Ugh. It's the opposite of bright. I'm talking about her attacks. Her attacks are bright. I'm not talking about her intellect. That's a whole separate issue. Also, Hydro Camo. Hydro Camo is actually fairly bright attack. Pursuits doesn't understand the joke. Unbelievable. Hello, Pushy. read. Unbelievable. Kids these days. Kind of unfortunate how the red lines really pushed me to the left early. But it's all fine. Go. Hello, Takane. Holy fuck, been on that last 5 years? You know, I've done like the, oh, you know, which Touhou characters lay eggs? Oh, which Touhou character would make the best wife? Which Touhou characters can read? I really should get a row for that attack, but I kind of just wing it. And it, like, usually works. Too strong. But too bad! You're the only that cannot canonically read or write, at least to a reasonable standard, as Juno. Probably enough to make up for that. Well, we know, because Mystia is illiterate, right? I know that one. Now, Misty's Izakaya references that, but I'm pretty sure that's actually also, like, a thing. That Mystia can't read. Mystia is illiterate? I believe so. Hello, Stage 3, my beloved. Aya calls her late. Yeah, and Aya is well known to be a very trustworthy and a news source. She is pure and honest. She would never lie. Ah, fuck, I was waiting too much. I was in the Inte residence? Really? Best wife? Oh, the best wife discussion's already, like, been had, although that could be continued on. So for the Inte residence, that's not an answer I've heard people say before. I respect it. I don't know if I quite agree with it fully, but I think there's some fairness to it. I say, I feel like the Iente residence is probably like one of the most literate places in all of Gensokyo. Bunnies at least probably know how to rewrite the Earth Bunnies. Here's the thing, yeah, but like Tay 100% does, right? Like Tay has been around for 5 billion years. Tay is a very crafty and devious being. Like Tay knows how to write, right? Raisin was probably taught like the Lunar Rabbits were probably all forced to learn how to like read, like. As part of, like, the Lunar Emissary training because of how, like, Yorihime and Toyohime are. Eren and Kaguya, I feel like there's no way they don't know how to read, right? Hello, Oz. Oz, what are your thoughts? Thank you for the GG. They can read, but she only read explosives recipes? Well, that's what she'll make you believe. She can read everything. She'll tell you what she can read, that she can only read a few things, whatever's convenient. Remember, there's 2 rules of thumb in Touhou. Okay? There are 2 characters that... There are 4 characters you never believe. Okay? Number 1, you do not believe Tsukasa. Number 2, you don't believe Kei. Number 3, Seiga. And number 4, Seija. Never trust or believe any of those 4 characters. Unless you're somehow able to get on the level of Eren, who can make a mutual, like, agreement pact with Kei. Like, she's, like, the only person who can do that. Been able to negotiate with Kei properly. Hello, Spitter. Just say you do the opposite of what she means. Come on! Really? A moment I get back to max power. Well, Seija's not quite... Seija's not Sagume, in which, like, the opposites happen. Seiga's... Not Seiga, Seija. Excuse me. Why did Zune... Why do they have to be, like, named the same thing? But, like, by this logic, you could go under the lines of, like, well, you could just believe that whatever Seiga tells you, she's actually just trying to fucking turn you into a zombie. And, like, bring and mind control you. Or steal all your valuables. The point of the matter being, like, those characters are the ones that, like, whatever they say, you just don't believe it. Oops. It's Sonya over. I guess we can go back to the Iente cast, though, is the other question. Let's take Reimu and Marissa off the list, because they're cheat answers. Which of the Imperishable Knight characters is the best wife? We can pivot over to that conversation, though. Again, I'll say Raymond, Marissa are cheating answers. Wait, best way. Yeah, well, Koichi referenced something along to that line, so I gotta go to that. Yeah, Touhou 8. Again, no Raymond, Marissa. Those are cheap answers. Coward's approach. You guess racing? What do you mean you guess racing? First of all, that's obviously wrong. Second of all, what do you mean you guess? Takane, can we get a ban on Bazooks here? Hello? The racing answer's better than that one. Unbelievable. Are playables at all then? Not really. I'm not really a playable counter in a lot of games. I guess I forgot that, like, Imperishable Knight has a billion playables. But, like, I don't want to count the playable characters since, like, they're usually, like, usable in a lot of different games, especially Reimu and Marissa. So you can't just be like, Touhou 18, who's the best wife? Oh, it's Reimu! Fuck off. You gotta pick a real answer. Not the playables. Okay, usually the rule of thumb I go is the new characters. Who are the new characters? Is it stage 6? Yeah. This is the final boss of the game. Hello, chicken butt. What is wrong with Takane? Oh, everything! I'm surprised you'd say Mistio. Because I thought you were the one before who said you didn't want Oku as a pet because you didn't like noisy birds in the morning. He's basically a night owl. I guess that's fair. You know, Misty will go to bed at noon. Convenient timing, someone like you. What about Wrigley Roo, though? Not fine birds. Yeah, but Misty also comes with the benefit of she can cook. So that means you don't have to cook. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm cooked today. It's over for me. I peaked yesterday with that run. We're washed right now, so... You could ever pick one of the Immortals. That sounds like a weak frame of mind. 3, 2, 1, 0. We go with Loco. Loco. My favorite part about, like, waifu discussion, like, character, and, like, just character discussion at abroad, is even when I agree with someone, the moment someone, like, says the name of characters, just shit-talking immediately, because it's fun. be better for 0.001% of their lifetime. What if you just drink the elixir? That easy? Probably. I mean, I said I'd probably... I've said before, I mean, everyone knows I am an Aaron. Fuck! Want to be immortal, though? I mean, what if you're in Gensokyo, though? You know. You know, what if you're in Sokyo and you get either Kaguya or Aaron or Moko, you know? And my go-to Imperishable Knight answer is Aaron. But I think there are a lot of... I think Perishable Knight's got a lot of solid answers. Kaguya's probably a close second. Okay, without Yuka, not worth. You're right. Might be. I think Kaguya's a close second. But I think Moko's fair. I think Kaine's pretty solid. Even though I'm not the biggest Kaine fan. I think Racing is pretty solid. K. I think K is honestly maybe a top tier choice. Mystia. I think Mystia's pretty good. I think they're all good. Wriggle's probably the least good just because the others are probably better. And like, how much of a fan are you of insects, right? Dude, when I played, I gotta go back and clip this. I gotta turn this into a clip. When I was playing Fantasy Maid Wars on Friday, I got jump scared so bad by a fucking big spider on my desk. I am not an insect person. Spiders aren't insects, they're arachnoids. They're fucking insects, as far as anyone should be concerned. Hello, Fanny. I mean, it's not like it was a massive spider, but like, he was good size. Like that, like you know, I see a lot of like small spiders, but like this guy is bigger than like a quarter. I don't know what like, I don't know it like exact coin sizes of other currencies, so I can't quite find something to relate to that. But like he wasn't big, like he wasn't like I've seen like a wolf spider before. I've seen big spider, like he's not one of those big ones, but like he was, for like the normal like smaller spiders, he was a good size. And it scared the shit out of me. Because I'm just like, I was playing Fantasy Maid Wars on Friday. And I glanced down, like something like catches my eye. I glance down, just on the back side of my keyboard is this big ass spider just sitting there. Looking at me. I fucking have a heart attack in the middle of stream. And I go grab my weapon of mass discussion. Weapon of mass destruction, aka paper towel. And I sent it to the Shadow Realm. Oh, you have your bathroom spider? What the fuck is a bathroom spider? You're sitting on the toilet, there's just a guy chilling on the wall, he waves to you. And then you, like, move on with your day. Listen, Zeus, words are hard, okay? Weapon of mass discussion. And I am not necessarily a spider. Like, I'll let some spiders live. Like, I've seen spiders. What the fuck is wrong with me? I've seen spiders, you know, small size. They're fucking, like, you know, very far away from me. I ignore him, he ignores me, we go on our day. Right? Not a problem. But he was literally, like, at my keyboard. Like, what am I gonna do? Not kill him? Like, he's literally in... Like, that's the rule of spiders, okay? If they're not scary and inconveniently placed. Yeah. Like, when I look over and, like, oh, like, I see one on the other side of the room, like, in my basement, like, below the stairs, he's far away. Like, sometimes I glance over and, like, over by my light switch, which is, like, complete other side of the room from me, like, very far away. And I, like, glance and I see a small guy walking over there. I'm like, he gets to live. He's not in my space. I'm not in his space. Mind our own businesses. Move on, right? But like when you're literally at my keyboard, and you're big and you're scary looking, you get the guillotine. Baby spiders this summer, you had to use poison to kill them? What are you, Australian? Speaking of insects. Spiders moving, you can't eat them. I mean, spiders are nice because they do eat insects, although it is currently fucking the middle of winter still, so there are no insects to be found. Call me in the middle of July and I'll have more respect for them. Except fucking ticks. Ticks, like... I have a friend who asked this question before, okay? Like, there's a lot of, like, creatures that are, like, you know, you don't like spiders. Not a fan of spiders, right? But spiders, like, do something, right? Like, they take part, they have their place in nature, right? Like, I don't like spiders, but I at least have some respect for them. Okay? And like, bees. Like, I don't want to get stung. I avoid them, but like, bees are fun. Wasps and fucking ticks. What the fuck do they do besides be an absolute bitch? Like, wasps technically pollinate, but like on a smaller scale than like fucking bees, like a much smaller scale than like bees do. So I guess that's like okay at best. Oops. Humans don't do much to pollute and blow each other up. No, they make really good porn. Did we run over a ground wasp when you were younger? That's the first thing on your head. No, it's just a funny answer. Well, some of it's really good. Some of it's mid. Maybe they're not really good for anything, okay? All it takes is one, like, Shadow Exonic fan art, and suddenly it's... We had a large... I have never gotten, like, massively stung by, like, a nest before. I've gotten stung by wasps, but, like, only a couple times, and only individuals. But when... This was probably about 10 years ago. Actually, yeah, probably almost 10 years ago on the dot. Well... It was fall. It was like August or September. We had a large group of people over. Me and my siblings, we had a large group of people over. We were doing Hunger Games in real life. We probably had 20, 25 people in our massive woods behind our house. And we were doing Hunger Games stuff. And one of my friends ended up stepping on like some hive and got stung a bunch. Thank you. And that while you weren't allergic to him, your friend was. Gotta love it. If I'm gonna... Speaking of allergies, I gotta say, I must be like one of those blessed people, because I have never found myself having any notable allergies, like, ever. I know some people that are cursed. That I would just say have cursed being. My brother's, one of my brother's exes, her younger sister, like, was, like, allergic to, like, everything in the world. She was allergic to fucking grass. 90% of the world, you're not allergic to anything else. But like I've never like had issues. I'm not like allergic to dairy or anything. And no foods. I've gotten stung before, not allergic to any of that. Like I've been fortunate to never have. I've never had like actual like health issues, which is great. I've broken bones, but so far. So far, you know, cross my fingers. Split your head open twice. I mean, I had to get multiple stitches in my head when I was like 5 or 6, I think it was. I ran headfirst into a countertop corner. Do teeth count as bones? No, not for this discussion. Although, like, losing your teeth via some means can be its own thing, right? I have an uncle who used to play hockey, you know, well into his 20s, and he lost a number of teeth. He broke his leg in that at one point too, and stopped playing. I live in an area where, like, I'm not a hockey enjoyer, but I live I live north enough and in enough area where a lot of hockey people in this area. I gotta blow my head open because of this Takane. Okay, we're moving on to practice for a little bit. Back like 3.5. I think teeth are teeth. That's a good observation, Spooner. Any more genius insights? How do we do this in Canada? Because when you're like 6, oh, okay. Like, my biggest health issue is that, like, I had to get a hernia mesh before, but like, that was when I was, like, I had that when I was literally, like, 2 months old. So it's like, what happens is, like, occasionally at the doctor, they have to be like, okay, and then do a quick checkup for that, but, like, that was when I was 2 months old. I never, you know, I have no recollection of that. My rib cages are, like, slightly offset. The right one's slightly, like, further up, and the left one's slightly further back than they should be. But it's not significant. It's not significant enough where it should be where it's an issue. It's actually apparently an issue that, like, a number of, like, adolescents build up. I apparently am, like, more notable with it than most. As it, like, it's visible, you can see on my chest, but it's still not, like, actually, like, a serious thing. Doctor, and they're like, I don't know what to do, bro. You're on your phone. It was a deadliest place, like, 2 days later. Exposed nerves the whole time. Eat some ice cream. Very bad appendicitis in 2013, almost ruptured each. Radius and all enough playing hockey, not a very fun time. I can imagine. I broke both bones in my left arm once. When I was about 10 years ago as well, when I was like 13 or 14. Yeah, actually, I think it would have been when I was 13. No, I think it would have been just 14. And I remember as I went through that, breaking both bones in my arm, I was like, I can't imagine doing it in my leg. Yeah, I just can't imagine pain. What am I doing? What is this route? It's opposite. I'll be pursuing my next YYDO. Thank you, Zebra. Oops. Okay, you know what? Just out of spite. Born with a small hole at the very end of your back. Your parents opted out to fix your baby. Fix it as adults, despite probably smaller than the have a pin. That surgery is way worse to recover from than the appendicitis. Yeah, there's sometimes you just have weird things like that. 2020 million probably with your teeth though, too. Yeah, it can happen. Okay, he cursed me. The curse is over now. Boom. That's revealed as an adult. Yeah, well, that's basically everything for various reasons, right? Like, if you ever have, like, issues, like medical issues at all, significantly better at, like the younger you are, the vastly easier it is to recover from. Like, usually just the quicker you'll heal, and the quicker it is to get out of it. But there's a lot of, like, family talking about that, like, small hole in his spine. Like, just a lot of very random, like, medical things that just happen for whatever reason. Like, I was told by my mom eventually, and like my doctors when I went in there last time, it was like, oh, at some point, like when I was born, I had like this very like small hole in my heart, and they're like, yeah, it'll just fix itself eventually, and eventually like closed up and it's fine. I'm like, what does that mean? Like a hole in your heart? It'll just fix itself, and then it did. It just, like, closed itself, apparently. I don't know what it means by hole. That sucks. Well, that's partly true. Like, you know, usually when you know, as an adult, when you have responsibilities, like, that can be a bit more of a problem. But, like, if you're 6 and you break a bone, you recover twice as fast as when you, compared to if you're 20. It's actually insane. Like you recover, like, it'll legitimately just heal faster. I learned about that when I broke my arm for the first time. Well, I say first time. I broke my collarbone later. I never broke my arm twice. But I learned about that when they broke it because they were telling me, because I was, like I said, either 13 or 14 at the time. I forget exactly. But they were like, oh, it's kind of fortunate that you broke it now. Because, like, in a few years, they would take notably longer to, like, recover. Apparently, like, when... I keep playing aggressive on the outside. Like, when you're younger, apparently, like, when your body's still growing, it just, like, recovers faster from most things. it's fascinating. Because, like, like, my secretary at work, she has a kid who's 5, I think? 5 or 6, I forget. And he just apparently broke his collarbone, like, last month. And, like, literally 4 weeks, and, like, it's almost completely healed. And it was like a clean fracture, like, all the way through. It's like 4 weeks, and it's, like, fine. Not an issue. The ability of the human body to have so many things that feels like it's like trying to kill it, and yet its ability just to like things that you'd be like, oh, this like sounds like it should be terrible, and then it just like ability to be like, it's fine. You just deal with it. It'll just fix itself. The amount of problems in the human body have just fixed themselves. I am washed right now. La 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 la. What happens if you need surgery in Ginsuki? Are you fucked? Or does Aaron know how to do that? Because, like, she like makes medicine. Not medicine melancholy, different character. Does Aaron do surgery? Like, what happens when Reimu breaks her leg? Is she fucked? Second guess my alignment for a second. I should have gone with the left. To imagine Alice is a heck of a surgeon. You have to have medicine for reattaching limbs. There to provide you to get blown up to pieces. The doi. Guys, I hate to break it, but I'm not very locked in right now. The third knot is such a curious attack. Very precise. Got a line, it's just it's very easy to second guess the line because a lot of it looks the same. And all the nods are similar, so it's easy to correlate two lines together. To be like, I gotta do this line, and then realize, wait, that was the wrong nod. Hello, 11. Speaking of immortal, are the Celestials immortal? At least, like, lifespan-wise? Like, if they're not killed? Oh, no, yeah, this is definitely LNN pace. Minimum score LNN is what I'm going for right now. This definitely isn't practice. Oh, it's so easy to forget the line. I was like, wait, am I supposed to hesitate a wave there or go? Whoops, you're dead. Is that non-static? Yes. In fact, all of her nons are. Well, besides her movement. She eventually moves on all the nons, so that part's not static, but all of her nons are naturally static. Those are immortal per se, they just age so slow. May as well live eternally, okay. I think there's no, there's not a, there's a line. There's a line of shenanigans to do. I've learned the line. It's difficult. Like, this one, I actually don't have a consistent line. I just kind of wing it, because it's that easy. Non-2 is not a problematic non in the slightest. It's very consistent, very easy to do. Non-3 is a bitch. Honestly, I would argue it might be your hardest attack. Her semifinal's close. Her final can be janky. Oop, I turned it too low. That attack's a little jank, I guess. Good to go, so she's immortal. Crazy. What was that line I just did? Do Moko non-8. No, I'd rather do this. Like, Kaimata takes longer to learn than Yuyuko, but there's a reason why she very well might be easier than Yuyuko as a Stage 6 boss. Not that she can't kill, because, I mean, obviously, like, Yuyuko can kill as well, but, like, in terms of consistency, Kaimata's not the threat of the game. She's tight. Cope. Like, some of her attacks are kind of tight. But, I mean, look at this. This is consistent, by the way. I don't even have a line. I just kind of, like, wing my line based on my general knowledge of the attack. Boss has the most attacks, spell cards with none. I know Byakuran has 10. Okina has 10 or 11? Arya has a bunch, right? Ignoring extra bosses, because extra bosses have a lot. Extra bosses obviously have more. Oh, fuck, I keep shitting my ass. Yeah, Okina, like, even if you exclude, like, the different finals, Okina still has, like, I think, like, Arya might be higher, but Okina has an additional non that most of the, that most Stage 6 bosses don't have. So she gets an extra attack, right? Because if you look at, like, Remy, 9 attacks, right? Because it's non-spell, non-spell, it's non-spell, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then additional final, right? Yeah, counted as an attack, yeah. Right? Yuyuko has 10 if you count RB, which I would, so, right? Because it's 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Because it's the usual flow of non-spell, 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 non-spell 4 times, and then additional at the end, but then there's RB, so that puts Yuyuko at 10, right? Kaguya kind of could be counted as more, at the very least for LNN purposes, because I think she innately has 9 plus the 4 at the end, so if you count those, or 5 at the end. I forget. But Kaguya has the ones at the end, so if you count those, then it would be her. But Kaneko has 9. Right? Does Kaguya have? It's either 4 or 5 at the end, so it's either 13 or 14. Eren only has +1 at the end, so that'd be 10 for her. Kaneko only has 9. Uchiwa only has 9. Byakuran has 10. Because she has an additional spell. 5 last spells for Kaguya. Okay, so that'd be 14 for her. But like Byakuran has +1, that puts her at 10. I don't know Miko and Sukuna well enough. I'm just gonna assume 9. But I don't know for fact. I think Junko's 10. Okina is... Okina's 10 or 11. Okina might... Because Okina has 5 nons, which is weird. Like, every other one has, like, 4 except her. I don't know Keiki well enough off the top of my head. Kaimata only has 9. No, does Kaimata actually have 10? Hold on. Because after non 3... No, hold on. Kamada does have 10, doesn't she? Just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, okay, yeah, she does have 10. Okay. And then I don't remember Arya off the top of my head. Arya, I think, has 10 or 11, but I might be mistaken. Here's the lovely non 3, by the way. The one that is just phenomenal. Fuck, I kind of butchered the line a little bit. There's a consistent line through that, as you can see what I did. It's not great. Wako has 10 spells. Are there nons in between those? Usually how most of the extra bosses work, right, is it's non-spell, then it's not, then spell, then non, then spell, then non-spell. Usually at the end, it's like 2 or 3 in a row, right? Of spells. I don't know a lot of a lot of extra bosses off the top of my head, though. It's that transition on, I think it's the 6th wave, that always throws me for a loop. Because there's a couple ways you can do it. This beginning part is basically always should be done the same. And that fadeaway at the end. The extra bosses do the same non-spell like 4 times. Well, they use the same non-spell like as many times as they do. They just like adjust them slightly, right? Like most extra bosses, just here's the non, and then let's like kind of do the same thing, but like maybe add like a slightly different layer to it, right? I'll play the rest of the spice round there. Like I can speak for Ron. I did that EXNN, right? It's like, ooh, here's this attack. Oh, here's the same attack, but like with another color of bullets added in. Oh, here's the same thing, but with another color added in. Oh, you would believe it. Guardian on spell 8, spell 12. That I believe that because Junko is included in there, so that kind of throws an additional crap in there, right? Need you again for Phantasm, yup. I am very smart. That was kind of scuffed. But at least I kind of know that if I scuff it up, then I end up throwing hardest attacks. So true. Because Kamada's weird in terms of the State 6 bosses as a kind of a whole. She's more rowdy than Yuyuko, so in a sense, she's kind of easier. But it's hard. But like Yuyuko can kind of like you can wing it on most of her attacks. Where like Kamada has a bit more learning cope. Especially if you're but if you're going card like that attack, by the way, is completely static. That actually is like one of the only attacks I haven't just like learned a route for it because I'm too lazy to. Listen, I capped on my run yesterday, so it must be free. What am I doing? What is this route? That was complete scuff. Ooh, okay. Yeah, spot. Yep, there we go. Cool. But like in a sense, I think her spell 2 is Kaimada's only like really RNG kind of attack, and even then it's not that. But like I think if you look at how much randomness is on an attack, I'm pretty sure her spell, too, is the attack with the most. Saying something because, like, this fight is extraordinary, at least. Like, the biggest variations on this attack are her movement. Like, that's what you're watching for in a lot of attacks, is where she moves. But, like, this attack, I think, is completely static. The way that these, like, dodges, like, right here on left for you might not be completely static. I hate that second dodge, by the way. But, like, otherwise, it's... Like, I always enter the same hole because it gives me, like, the same positioning. The cutback of this attack is awkward, I will say. This is probably either her hardest or her second hardest attack, I'd say. And by the way, it's completely static again. Oops. This one might be your hard. It's either hardest or second. The thing that makes this one harder is that honestly probably the hardest is the fact that you have to go 2 waves. And you can get screwed by down movement. Depending on her positioning. Like, it's very possible. If you're at max power, it usually should be okay. If you're down a power, you can get absolutely fucked by down movement like I did in my run yesterday. But, like, even for this sort of final, like, it's pretty... It's a cool fight. I really like this final. I love this attack design-wise. But, like, it's not that spooky of an attack. Like, the only, like, variation here is her movement. And that's not even, like, that big of variation. I guess there's technically a variation with the spread of, like, these bullets up here. But I don't think that's a big enough deal. I mean, it's a relevant deal, but it's not... Okay, that was a little... I walked right back into it. Your final on top of the screen? No. Okay, let's just admit that we're washed right now. Stage 5 is fine. Oops. That's the bomb button. Let's just go play against the cat a little bit, shall we? Let's go back to the cat. I need more Kaimados, and there's a bit more Kaimado experience, and I'll get more, slowly but surely. And on a binge Kaimado, though. A lot of her is just making sure you have a route, have a plan in mind for the attacks, and executing, because it is tight at times, like that Dominion, whatever it is, something Dominion. That's semi-final. It's a pretty tight attack, especially if she goes down in the second wave. Non-3 is very tight. It's very fast. Non-3 is not as tight, necessarily, but it's really fast. Spell 2 is the one attack that has, like, notable variation in it. outside of just boss movement. In fact, it actually doesn't have any boss movement. Proof that Mickey is harder than Kaimata confirmed. Okay, that's too much gameplay discussion. We got back out of that. 11, I gotta get your opinion on this because I asked it earlier and we talked about it. Who is the best wife from Imperishable Night? We had this discussion earlier, but you unfortunately weren't there by that point, so you missed out. Messaging me. I hate the cat. Whatever this is, Kagi, you got it. Just had to ask. Ooh, 1.17? We're cooking? Guys, I will say, I regret to inform people that, unfortunately, due to the events of last night, I didn't get as much sleep as I hoped. So once again, for the 18th billionth week in a row, I started the week off not getting all the sleep that I would desire. Yeah, and that's a top-tier wife material, then you remember Wriggle and Nishite versus exists. Well, that's a lot of slander right there. First of all, as I said, the playable characters don't count. They're not new characters in the game. So I'm going to discount them. Wriggle and Mistia, you know, I'll let that slide. But like Kay? Dog, what are we doing here? Do you know how much power I just lost? I'm never hitting 2.0 before this mid-boss. Like, the racing is like... Actually, you didn't even say racing, you said Marissa. I'll win against her. Don't make me pull up the game glitcher arguments. Okay, once again, the cat. The cat of insurmountable pain. I really edged that first bullet now, didn't I? What am I doing? It is not my day. It's okay, as I said yesterday, I got my run for the week, so it's fine. On the other hand, Monsieur runs a profitable legal business. Is the legal part true? Because I'm pretty sure, didn't she get yelled at by Reimu? Because she may or may not have been scamming people with, like, the night blindness thing. And then didn't Reimu, like, yell at her to stop, or else she was gonna have to, like, take her out? was the last time Misia, like, appeared in, like, lore? Canon. Because, like, obviously, Misia's gotten some love over the last few years with, like, Misia's Izakaya. Becoming, pretty big for what it is. But, like, when was the last time canonically she did anything? Like, showed up and, like, existed. She probably does more than Alice does. Just squeeze Nue and Nina together. Are you now on your Nue arc? Is this what's happening? I mean, I saw you were doing the extra stage. Threaten Misty's Kaya, but... No, I thought canonically there was actually something involved. You to do extended. Yeah, I saw you posted that earlier. Is that just... Have you suddenly become, like a big Nue fan because of it? Yeah, yeah, I do know that. But, like, Misty is one of those characters, because, like, that, like, you know, fandom tends to portray her lightly. In which, oh, you know, she has her food cart, but, like, the thing is, right, is that she's a scammer. Because she sells her eels, lamprey eels, under the idea that they cure night blindness, so she gives people night blindness, sells the eels, and then cures them herself, and it's like, you know, scamming. You know, because there's the old folklore or whatever about lamprey eels curing night blindness. News too goddamn cute. I just have, like, never heard you, like, I've heard you on the Nina train before, right? I know you're a big, like, Mei-Ling and Sen fan. I just haven't heard you on the Nue train before. So... I hate you. Cover and color. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Damn, look at that. Missy got so much love there. Look at that. Really appreciate Ozun's character designer. Well, he puts a lot of efforts into, like he's always done this, right? Like, PC98, like, there's a couple, like, pseudo-basic looking characters, but, like, even PC98 and, like, USD, like, he puts a lot, especially into their, like, outfits. He's always done a real good job of, like, really making them flashy looking in terms of the character itself. Like, specifically, like, what, like, their outfits and such, so they really stand out a lot. Anyway, as a top of your wife, you're very great taste, I'll never tell you otherwise. Extremely pleasant character design, you gotta admit. There's a reason she had that staying power. Well, that's true. But I would argue there are multiple reasons she had that staying power. I think that is definitely one of them. Imagine for the CBD sadist audience. What are you implying? Listen, I'll always say the Yuka fans and the Hikadia fans are one and the same. Change my mind. Yeah, the shift in the outfit design, character designs and such. I think a lot of that is just par for the course with Zun's development, especially as like an artist and such. Right. And like I think especially early on, he leaned heavily into a very specific way of like drawing his characters, right? Because like especially on the outfit side of things, because like we've all seen USD Sakuya, right? And like everyone knows that. Everyone here knows USD Sakuya is a thing. So like back then, like he had his limitations with his art, and he's definitely like evolved with how he does things. So like I think like where he does his things changed a lot. Not that that's a bad thing or a good thing inherently. It's perfectly, it's the natural progression. Fuck! I died to that again? It is cooked today for me. I gotta pee. I really should have paused after that run. Go pee. But kind of like everyone, yeah. Obviously, there are some Touhous I like more than the others, but like I generally just enjoy all the Touhous. Not just funny shit. What are you implying? Are you implying that like some places make their designs very centered around something or other? I love gacha games, by the way. Let's just get that out there. Listen, Touhou fans understand that they don't need, like, corny art. All they need is, like they don't need, like, the traditional, like maid outfits and swimsuits and, you know, really scandalous clothing. All they need is armpits. It's a really easy way to satisfy the Touhou fans. I hate you. I should go pee. I'll be back. Oh, perfect. Fan services official works. Yeah, look at that! Look at that Yugi! Oh my! Look at that clown piece! Unbelievable! We gotta cancel soon. Oh, Suguri. Oh, I didn't take off the Reimu image. Hold on. There we go. Versus alternate facts in Eastern Utopia, by the way. Isn't that like semi-canon or something? I don't know actually for sure off the top of my head. I feel like I've just heard something about that before. Rest in peace, One Power on the left. Work the universe authors. It's okay. Here, chunk of salt. Right. I knew. I feel like I remember there's something sketchy. Yakuza jiggling boobs. Yeah. I can't believe that I can't believe that Byakuren in the recent fighting games. By recent, I mean the ones from like 10 years ago. Over 10 years ago. And he gave her like a bit of booba. It's unbelievable, guys. He's given into the fan service. It's over for Touhou. Cancel the series right now. I never do things sketchy, by the way. Next up, we're getting a busty ninja in Touhou 21. I don't know what that is that 11's referring to. I'm just gonna take a wild guess and move on with my life. Don't worry, guys. Touhou 21 is actually going to be a dating sim. Don't Google. I'm going to Google it and put the results. I'm going to Google it and put my Google search on stream while I do it, and then get canceled, I assume. Iconic ninja hentai with lots of weird fetishy shit. Noted. Shouldn't actually Google cube fetish. I've never heard that term before. Fuck you! Oh my gosh, what was that? What is that? Just like someone who really likes like Minecraft porn? Listen, like I said, I'll allow links to things, but at the moment, if a direct link leads to something NSFW, I gotta delete the message. I can't have that. If there's a link that leads to a link that leads to a link, I can hit. That's fine. But like, I can't have a direct link lead to NSFW content. Especially, like, at the very least, if you're gonna do that, Like, I'll have to, like, delete the message, but at the very least, you could make it, like, good. You don't have to post the most random off-the-wall fetishy shit. Like, at least you could post something good. So that when I ban, I'm like, you know, at least this is, like, solid. Oh. Oh, what is this? Use this power responsibly. Is knowing weird off the ball a weird adult works a power? Is that like a superpower? But it does have a rewritten, retooled, and censored version on Steam that turns into a not hentai visual novel. Well, where's the fun in that? No, there's some things I can recognize. Don't get me wrong, it's just I never dabbled that far in that field. I also really didn't get into anime and stuff until, like, later into a teen, almost, so... There's some weird stuff that, like, when you're younger, that, like, you stumble on for random things, but, like, that was not one of those things I was a stumbler. At least in that regard. Especially, like, I knew... like, visual novels were not a thing I was remotely familiar with until I was basically an adult. There's no out Kurinu. Don't know that. Not familiar with that. I'm also not familiar with Japanese Japanese names for things. Like, rule of thumb, like, if I'm gonna know about something, like, it's English. Like, it has to at least have an English text. English translation in some form. Like, I'll do Japanese voice acting, like, if that's a thing, but, like, I need, like, my English name or something, or, like, something I can refer to. There was a point in time where I had a friend where other people were like, we were all gonna play games some night with, you know, like, all my friends, but, like, most of the others couldn't make it, or they were, like, late. So I was just one friend of myself on Discord. This was 8 years ago or something, 7, 8 years ago. No, probably not quite that far. Probably like 6 years ago-ish. Something like that. And we just ended up, like, browsing random, like Dojin sites with, like, free demos. Random, like, 18+ Dojin, and it was just going through free demos of them for, like, 4 hours. It was a great time. There's some weird shit. Oop. What you pronounce the Todd character as Kairi? I would never do that. I'll always pronounce that as Chiiri. Senran Kagura. I have one bit of experience. There's one Senran Kagura game I've ever played, and I have any amount of experience with, by the way. And that is Peach Beach Splash. The pinball game. Absolute peak, by the way. I know nothing else Senran Kagura was. Dude, I am actually just washed. You saw your dad playing center and actually you do play Sega Kagura? Of my immediate family, like, basically, like, only my younger sister's, like, the only one who ever is engaged with anime content, like, at all. Otherwise, like, none of them engage with it in the slightest. Happy or not degenerate, haven't played Senran Kagura. I've never played or watched or seen anything related to Senran Kagura that's not the pinball game. That's the only bit of exposure I have, really, to it. Once again, a cat. Picture went, I don't know what this is, he's just testing it. What is he, a 15-year-old as his mom walks in? I was just, it somehow ended on my computer. I was just trying to figure out what it was. I don't know what this, it's so weird. It was a virus, and when I tried to delete it, my pants fell down. Frick. Oh, that's not what I want to click on. Dude, Bible study looking up online for Black Bible. Yo, what is it? Oh, it had Bible in the name. I thought it was for Bible study. Dude, I gotta be real with you. Like, I can enjoy some of that kind. Fucking Black Bible is fucking terrible looking. Okay, like, hold on a second. Like, how the fuck is anyone getting off to that? Like, hold on. Like, that was a critique I've had for a very long time, which is like, it's like people always talk about, like, you know, like culture and stuff, but like most hentai in terms of like animation, it's like, as much as I'm an anime fan, it's like, and like I'll enjoy like loots, like question, you know, not necessarily like actual like nudity, but like, you know, blue jokes and stuff, often stuff. Actual, like, hentai for the longest time, it's just, it's so, eh. What did you just say? I don't know what that is. I'm not going to delete that message. It's a little questionable. I'm not going to. Hey, I know that. The last thing we need is more cockroaches. I'll leave that there. Anyway, on a completely different topic. I shouldn't talk about a completely different topic. I'll practicing this part real quick. Frick. It works a controlled environment. You can't just ban science. I'll believe you. Move on. World Cup looks stacked on 21 people sign up for TD Survival. Yeah, crazy. No, what I was going to is, so it's Monday. I usually I go grocery shopping after work, usually Monday and Friday. So on my way back from work, I went grocery shopping. I was very upset today because they fucking they have the mini peeled carrots, and I go fucking walk over because I need some. And I walk over there, and guess what? They're just fucking out. They're just, they just don't have them there. I was very upset. Because, I'm not a vegetable person. The two I, regularly get myself to, bake food with. And, to be, a good person is, asparagus. I've commented before. I'm a big asparagus person. And carrots. I'll make fried rice with carrots. I do that fairly often. And I show up and just, the mini peeled carrots that I like to get, boom, they're just out. They haven't been, I haven't ever shown up and then be out for, over a year. I was horribly disappointed. It's over, the modern world we live in. I've now given up on society. Not because of anything else, but because I failed to kill that one green yin yang. Stop growing carrots straight out of the garden. We're not a fucking farmer. When I was younger, my mom used to, try to grow strawberries in her backyard. We'd get, a little bit. But there's fucking 5 billion chipmunks, and if the chipmunks didn't get them, then the rabbits tried to get them. I would try to put up stuff to stop them from getting them, but they always fucking dig it or whatever. It was a real pain in the ass to try to grow shit back there. Farmer means you're a superhero? I don't understand this reference, or this joke. Whatever it's supposed to be. So I'll just nod my head and move on. Oop! Fuck, I walked right into it. Super. Well, if everyone's a super, if everyone's a super, then no one will be. But I'll just move on with it as I've made my stances about super noted before. Oop. Let's look at this for a hot second, and then I'll go back to doing runs for like 15 minutes or something. While I bleed out for the rest of the day. We got anywhere today? No. Been a little... I mean, we've gotten places in terms of conversation. Like, oh boy, the conversation has been bustling, like, general, but... LNN up to commodity through it. That's definitely not what happened, but we can pretend it's what happened. Makes for a good story. Being told, yeah. I mean, some people might not be aware, so it should probably clarify that you're doing card runs. But, yeah. It's very true, and it's right. I don't know what part of that is technically untrue. That non is just sometimes, well, by sometimes I mean oftentimes, just a disgusting non. This fight is just a disgusting stage 3. You are so lucky, Sanyo. That Kagero... What the fuck is... This game RNG based, which cards you're offered? Yes, which is why the scorers use open shop. They use a thing to let them fucking effectively just pick up whatever items to get a consistent lineup. Because otherwise, yes, it is RNG based on which cards you get. Naruto, yeah, unbelievable. Meanwhile, this attack. Oop. Surprise every single LNN or score player, a cheater. Well, they're not a cheater to their own rules, right? Like, isn't that the whole thing about an LNN? Like, even among the technical LNN term, like, people still do the rules to as they see fit, right? Like, as far as anyone is concerned, in something like this, it's, there's nothing you can't do in the game itself. Ongoing setup. Yeah, well, I mean, by all means, it's like shot manip is definitely something that could be looked at as cheating. But, like, it depends on, you know, what you're using for that regard, right? Like, there's a perfectly fair reason why some people are using that. Say your life's invincible and then set that. Well, that's a perfectly fine thing for you to do, right? Like, it depends on your own rule set of what you're considering as legal or not. and what you consider as cheated. Like, if you're really worried about some sort of, like, leaderboard settings or something, then you gotta at least confide to that rule set. But, like, as a broad, with any type of thing like this, right? It's, you know, if you're the one playing, it's your rule set, right? You play the game how you see fit. Right? Why do I not take power? Why do when I'm doing puppet dance in Nuzlocke, I do the sets I do? It's just because that's based on what I see fit. Because you know what? There's always a rule. There's always a notion for every single thing. If you don't like a rule set, go do it yourself. You don't like how someone else wants to accomplish something, go do it yourself. Like, this is a type of thing that exists, like, everywhere, right? And it's not a Touhou thing. When you have quality of life aspects like the crack, and you got a bunch of people who are like, well, that's... You know, whether or not it's the crack specifically, or, like, anywhere else that has other things that are, you know, quality of life based to ease up on something like that, and then people are like, well, is that cheating or not? Is it your rules? Do you consider it cheating? Then don't do it. Paper 4.0 Takane. Right? Like, another regard can be looked at in the middle of runs. Like, some people don't do certain safe spots or something. Sometimes they don't do it because they don't want to, like, learn it or something, but some people, like, will actively not do something because they don't want to, because they think negatively of it for a various reason. And so that's their own thing. They don't do it because of some rule they've internally set for themselves. That was a sketchy-ass dodge. Oops. Wow, okay, me getting hit and pausing at the same time. Broke the game. Death buzz said it, yeah. Like, having... Fuck, dance Nuzlocke already? Like I said, I'll probably do a randomized encounter one again after Labby Try. Thank you for the level cap command 11. Appreciate it's very relevant. I love how it still pulls the Remy emote because that one just pulls up for what it does. Well, like that's one of the things about an LNN 2. One of the advantages, because like having a universal kind of guideline that people play for with in regards to LNNs is a good thing to an extent, right? Like we do have with the Maribel site, with the LNN lines for everything. But you know, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily a universal guideline, right? You do it how you want to. Whether or not you're worried about conforming to other people's standards is on you. Like, I've made sure, not, like I go for the LNN, but, like, it's based under the notion of I started grinding this under the concept of it being a perfect run, right? And I play in a similar, and I act in a similar regard to that. Now, generally speaking, that conforms to the LNN. Frick you, by the way. I saw that diagonal bully. Stupid fucking cat. That's a bubble hitbox moment and a half. Yes, I did. I changed the racing one. But there are actually some lines that I look at that don't necessarily conform to the Maribel site, but, like, that's its own thing, right? Like, generally, I think a big rule of thumb is you use the rule set you want, but you also shouldn't grill other people for not doing the rule set you do, right? I think that's a big thing. Like, there are certain things I look at and don't look for in, like, my Touhou run, but I try to make sure that I'm not going to criticize people for not doing exactly what I want to do. Exactly how I think the run should be done, right? That's stupid. I'll play to my standard, but it's my own standard, right? 3, 2, 1, 0. Can't go font, so it's real. What do you mean can't? Oh, I get what you mean. Son of a beach! You didn't beat the game if you ever picked up P and pressed shift, so true. Played at my stand, yeah. Dude, one of my favorite pastimes is you ever like on YouTube, you ever like watch people do like a challenge run of some video game, and then like especially if they're like streaming or even if they're just, you know, recording it and they put it on YouTube, and then people comment either in like a live chat or comment afterwards, and they're just like, why didn't you do this? Why is this the rule? What about this rule, huh? Why aren't you doing it to this? Why aren't you doing it like I think you should do it? There's always going to be someone like that, right? As long as there's enough people there. Read the content world record speed is pop game. Oh, absolutely. Like, I'm not a particularly big speedrun fan, generally speaking. One of the reasons is, like, there's a lot of speedruns that, like, I just... Like, all like, the clips and stuff and kind of, like, the quote-unquote glitches outside, I don't really care for. I just, like, I think it's interesting to see once, and then I kind of just get bored of it, personally. And, like, I'm much more of a fan, usually, of, like, glitchless runs and, like, certain, like challenge speed runs, in a sense. Like, limited ones there, but I'm not, but don't fucking go under a comment section and start yelling about how fucking run shouldn't count or should follow a different rule set or something. That's, right? Like, I literally saw this, like it's probably like 2 weeks ago. Someone's doing a challenge run in the game, trying to make it hard. And then someone asked, why didn't you add this rule? That would make it harder. Well, I didn't add that rule because I didn't fucking want to. Why didn't you? That's a popular on the videos. These are artists. Think about it, yeah, cheating scroll, yeah. Family, you forgot the comment where they say, dude, I bet you dodge rain. Not referencing the Touhou attack, but I bet you go outside and, like, don't get hit by the rain, dude. This guy showers and doesn't get wet. That portal speeder didn't understand what's happening, yeah. Final piece on normal is harder. So true! Speak, King. Level Chinese, yeah. Why are you so low? This cat just fucking hates me, I swear. Me gets bad RNG once. Dude, this game is terrible, bro. It hates me. I hate you. You haven't truly LNN Touhou 50 until you swap the normal Clampy's mid-run. So true. There are more clears of Touhou 15 on YouTube. More Lute clears Touhou 50 on YouTube than normal clears. What does that tell us? Dude, your VOD channel, someone asked on my then latest VOD from a month prior, hey, you still alive?